The stars were silent. Far beyond the edge of Council space, a Terran science vessel floated near a dark planet. It had no weapons, no shields, only scanners and research tools. The crew of 15 humans smiled as they worked. They had just found something strange, ancient metal under the surface of the planet. It looked like a city buried in rock, old, dead, and forgotten. They sent a message to Earth, possible ancient alien site, beginning scan now. But the message never reached Earth. From the shadows of space, a Council battleship moved forward. It didn't hail the Terran ship. It didn't send a warning. It just fired. 3 plasma beams hit the science vessel in seconds. The explosion was silent, but bright. Pieces of the ship burned, then vanished. No escape pods. No survivors. Inside. The Council ship commander Vaughn watched the fire fade. His cold eyes showed no regret. He turned to his crew. "One less threat," he said. "But sir, it was a science ship."
"Ow!"
"No weapons," a junior officer replied. Varn's face stayed hard. "Earth is dangerous. Every ship is a weapon in time. We strike now, before they become stronger." In a large hall deep in Council space, leaders from over 40 alien species gathered. They sat on stone chairs shaped like claws and horns. At the center, a glowing blue image showed Earth's position on the map. Red lines circled it like a target. High Chancellor Tezeron, of the Varnak race, raised his long fingers. "We made the right choice," he said. "Earth grows fast. Too fast. They learn, adapt, and spread. Soon, they would rival us. We act before they rise." Many nodded. Few looked unsure. The Corel ambassador, a quiet creature with gray skin and kind eyes, spoke up. "But they never attacked us. They stayed in their space. They sent peace talks." Tazaran's voice rose. "Peace is a lie. It is only a tool. Humans smile while they sharpen their blades. We do not wait for their fangs. We remove them now." The vote passed. 17 races stood against Earth. 3 abstained. 1 left the chamber in silence. On Earth, no alarms rang. No warnings came. Someone was watching. Buried inside the mountains of the moon, a black room lit up. A single red eye blinked to life. Project Revenant, Earth's secret military. AI saw everything. It traced the energy signature from the science ship's destruction and followed it. Council technology, Varn design, no question. Revenant sent one message to Earth's military command. Terran science ship destroyed. Council strike confirmed. Preparing counter-response. The generals on Earth were silent as the report played. A video showed the science ship exploding. A Council ship floating nearby, cold, empty. General Harris, a gray-haired man with a quiet voice, stood slowly. "They struck first," he said. "No warning, no talk, just death." "They fear us," said Admiral Lin, her face calm but her fists tight, "and now they'll see why." Back on the moon, Revenant activated hidden systems. Hundreds of small satellites moved into new positions. Deep inside the asteroid belt, old warships powered up ships hidden for decades. Ghost Fleet, humans called it. Ships with no name, no signal, and no mercy. But Earth didn't respond publicly. Not yet. For now they watched. 2 days later, the Council sent a message to Earth. It said the science ship was destroyed by a meteor impact. A lie. A cold, lazy lie. Earth sent a short reply. "We heard you." That was it, the Council laughed. "What can they do?" said one council. "Leader? Throw rocks at us?" But Earth was not laughing. In a quiet lab under Antarctica, a small team of human scientists worked around a black cube. Inside it was a new kind of drive, one that could fold space. Earth had never tested it in war. But now, they would. They placed the cube into the first Ghost Fleet ship. The ship vanished. No trail. No sound. One moment it was near Jupiter. The next it was at the edge of the Council's outer rim. The test was a success. 3 days later, Council listening post. On the edge of Varnak space went dark. No explosion. No distress signal. Just silence. A search ship was sent. It found the station empty. Doors open. Lights off. No blood. Just gone. One word was written on the wall, scratched deep into the metal. Remember? Fear started to spread. Quiet at first. Small talks. Hushed voices. Then came the second strike. A council fuel depot exploded. Not just one bomb, but dozens set with perfect timing. The flames burned for hours. 5 council worlds lost power. For days still, Earth said nothing. Inside the council, some began to panic. How did they reach us? They can't know our codes. They're just humans. But fear grew, and humans kept striking. On a jungle planet named Tyver, a council weapons lab vanished in seconds. Satellites showed nothing. No ships, no missiles, just one moment there, the next dash crater. Inside a secret council war room, the leaders gathered. Again, their faces were no longer proud. They fight like shadows, whispered one. No armies, just silence and fire. Shh. High Chancellor Chizeron slammed his fist. We crush them now. All forces to Earth. But it was already too late. Earth had already spread. Human operatives were in council systems. Human drones flew near their worlds. Ghost fleet ships moved in darkness. And worst of all, some council species were starting to ask questions. Why? Did we strike first? Why lie about the science ship? Why fear Earth so much? The council tried to control the news. But humans had sent messages, videos, warnings. They didn't scream for war. They asked one question. Why? And that question echoed. On Earth, the people mourned their lost ship. But they did not cry long. They trained. They planned. They waited because now they understood. The council feared them, not for what they were, but for what they could become. And that fear would cost them everything. In the cold of space, a human strike team watched a council convoy move across the stars. The lead ship carried weapons, soldiers, and prisoners taken from smaller Terran colonies. The strike team moved without a word. The convoy never reached its destination. The prisoners were freed, and one of them, a young human named Rhea, sent a message to Earth. They made a mistake. They thought we were weak. But now we fight. Earth's reply was simple. Welcome home. The war had not been declared, but it had already begun, and this time humanity would not wait. The stars around the outer rim were quiet. It's quiet. A council patrol ship named Ekron's Eye moved slowly across the edge of their space. It was large, armored, and carried a crew of 30. It was sent to find out what happened to their missing fuel depot and the listening post that had gone silent days ago. Inside the control room, Captain Norvik looked at the dark screen. Nothing moved. No signals. No heat. Just one cold, dead planet ahead. We're entering the zone now, he said. All scanners active, weapons online. His second officer, a tall insectoid creature with sharp red eyes, clicked nervously. This place feels wrong. Norvik ignored the feeling. You believe in ghosts? The officer didn't answer. The ship reached orbit around the planet. It's the same planet where the council's outpost had vanished. Should have been busy signals, lights, traffic. But now, it was empty. No life. No power. They sent a drone down. The drone flew low over the broken outpost. It showed metal walls torn open, claw marks across the floor, but no blood. Just empty beds, smashed terminals, strange signs scratched into the walls. The camera zoomed in on one. We are watching. The drone's signal cut out. Captain Norvik stood up. Recall all scouts. Get us out of here. The lights flickered. Then something hit the hull hard. Hard, one of the engines exploded. Status, Norvik shouted. Unknown object. Came from under the surface. Then they heard it. A sound they had never heard before on any council channel. A human voice laughing. Norvik. Froze. That's impossible. We scanned the planet. No humans here. Another voice spoke through the comms. Cold. calm. You should have stayed away. And everything went dark. 2 days later, the council received a broken message. We were wrong. It's not just humans. It's machines, cloaked, watching us. That was all. The Akrons, I was never found. The council blamed it on an engine failure, but they were lying again. The truth was worse than they expected, the Terran. Military AI Revenant had created a new weapon silent. Invisible hunter drones that hid in radiation zones and dark systems. Machines that could wait for weeks, even months, until the perfect time to strike. No heat, no signal, just death. Back on Earth, Revenant spoke to Admiral Lin and General Harris. The Council now fears the dark. We control it. No? Asked Lin. Revenant answered, enough to fear, not enough to understand. On the Council world Zarnath, whispers grew. They say humans are using ghosts. They don't fight like us, don't follow rules. They never declared war. Even Council soldiers began to hesitate. On one border world, a Council captain received a distress signal. A cargo ship in trouble. They moved in to help. But as they approached, the cargo ship disappeared from sensors. Instead, they heard a voice. We remember Varnock. Missiles hit them from nowhere. Ship split in half before they even saw the enemy. Only one escape pod survived. Inside was a single message. You struck first. No, we answer. Back in the Council's high command, panic was growing. Reports from the Outer Rim told of missing patrols, lost outposts, destroyed convoys. The Council ordered more patrols, more scans, more weapons. It didn't help, because Earth wasn't sending an army. They were sending fear. Revenant watched it all from the moon. The AI studied the Council's movements. It saw patterns, weakness, confusion, and then it activated Phase 2. Deep inside a Council trade hub, a security worker checked a container. It was labeled machine parts, standard cargo. He opened it. It was empty except for one thing, a screen. It lit up and played a video. A Terran child smiling, family eating, a peaceful colony, then fire. The screen flashed one line. You killed them. We remember. Then the screen went black, that worker told others. The story spread. People began. Two asked, did the Council really attack first? Was it true? The Council tried to stop the rumors. But it was too late. Earth had already planted the seeds, and in the shadows, Ghost Fleet ships kept striking. On the moon of Gravax, a massive Council cannon was destroyed from inside. No one saw the human team. No one ever would, but they left behind a symbol. The Earth flag, torn, burned, but still there. A message: you feared us before you knew us. Now you will know what fear truly is. The chamber was cold. Bright white lights shone down on a metal chair. Straps held a human arms, legs, even his neck. His face was bruised, his eyes swollen, but he was still awake, still alive. His name was Sergeant Elias Ward, Earth Force. Captured during a deep strike near the planet Sarlin, Council scientists surrounded him. Long fingers, strange eyes, breathing tubes, and robotic hands. They studied him like an animal. He should have broken days ago, said Dr. Velk, a tall reptilian with silver scales. He's only human, another said. Elias laughed, even though it hurt. Blood ran from his lip. You think pain scares us, he said. You have no idea what made us. The room went silent. Velk leaned forward. You're alone. Your mission failed. No one is coming. Elias looked up, and even in pain, he smiled. You think that was the mission? The scientist paused. We were just checking your walls, Elias whispered. Now we know where they crack. Suddenly alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Doors locked. A voice echoed through the building in a strange language, but the humans had learned it. Containment breach. Intruders inside. Unknown number. The scientists backed away. Guards rushed in. One grabbed Elise's face. What did you do? He laughed again. I told them where I was. Days ago. Outside the lab, small charges blew through steel doors. A human strike team entered, wearing black armor with no insignia. Silent, fast, deadly. Within minutes, the guards were gone. Elias looked up as the door opened. A tall woman in armor stepped in. Her voice was calm. "Hey, soldier, time to go home." "You're late," Elias muttered, grinning. They cut him free. As they left the lab, they set charges. Fires followed them. The Council's science center, where they tortured humans, was turned to ash. One ship escaped the planet. Inside it, Elias recorded a message. It was short. "They tried to break me. But you can't kill what you don't understand. And they don't understand us at all." The message was sent to Earth and to the Council. That same week, Council Command reviewed data from the lab. "We scanned him," said a nervous analyst. "His heart rate, brain waves, everything said he was dying. But he didn't die." Another officer added, "Humans don't respond to pain like we do. It changes them, makes them stronger." The room fell silent. One commander finally asked, "Are we sure we want this war?" But it was too late. Across Council space, more human teams struck. Not with armies, not with fleets, just small units, ghosts, shadows, and now the Council. Feared something worse than war. They feared humans who survived the possible. They feared the ones who came back, and the man they couldn't kill had just become a symbol. Across human colonies, posters appeared with his face. Across Council worlds, whispers spread. They captured one, and still couldn't win. In dark rooms on alien stations, soldiers from smaller races asked questions. Why? Did we start this war? Why are they not afraid? On one Council world, a soldier defected. Then 2, then 10, not because they loved Earth, but because they began to see the truth. Earth had not started the war, but they were going to finish it. And no matter how far the Council ran, or how many humans they caught, they could never stop them all. The night sky over Varnock was beautiful. Its moons were full, the stars bright. Children laughed in the streets. Citizens walked calmly under golden lights. They didn't fear war. Why would they? Varnock was the capital of the Council, most protected planet in the galaxy. No one could touch it. They were wrong. High above. The planet, hidden in the black of space, 5 Terran warships waited. No lights, no signals. Each ship shaped like a blade, silent. Watching, inside the lead ship, Commander Mara Kane watched the city through a digital screen. Her voice was low. Everything. They built sits on the blood of our people. She turned to her crew. Tonight, we return the fire. Her ship moved first. Then the others followed. One by one, they uncloaked above the skies of VAR. No alarms sounded. Council didn't see them. Not yet. The first strike didn't come from missiles. It came from the sky itself. A Council satellite exploded, turned into debris. Then another. Then 20. And still. The city below didn't understand. People looked up. Bright lines crossed the sky, falling stars. They pointed, smiling, thinking it was some kind of light show. Then the first one hit. A fireball dropped into the East District. Buildings shook. The sky turned red. Then the second one came, and the third. Now the screams began. Inside Council Command, sirens blared. Unknown attackers in orbit. Shields down. Strike teams inbound. Earth origin confirmed. High Chancellor Dazaron stood in shock. They're here? No one answered. The Council's great defense grid, built over 200 years, never fired once. It was already offline, taken out by a virus, planted by Earth months ago. On the ground, Council soldiers scrambled for cover, but Earth's strike was fast and clean. Terran pods fell like meteors. From them came soldiers in black armor. They didn't attack civilians. They didn't burn cities. They moved straight to one building, the Council's high command tower. Inside, the tower guards held the last line. Then, silence. The power went out. The doors opened, smoke filled the halls, then gunfire fast. Sharp, over in seconds, Commander. Mara Kane stepped into the central chamber. Behind her, 5 Terran Marines in perfect formation. Tazarin tried to run. Stun round dropped him. Kane stood over him. "You struck first," she said. "We offered peace. You gave us fire." She placed a small device on the Council's master terminal. It lit up. A message began to broadcast across all Council worlds. All screens. All systems. A video. Earth's destroyed science ship. Terran civilians. Dead in the rubble. And then, Council leaders dash laughing. Followed by Elias Ward's message from Part 3, "You tried to break us. You failed." Kane looked into the security camera and said only one thing: "We're not here to rule. We're here to end you." And she vanished. The strike team pulled out. Their ships jumped to warp. 10 minutes later, Council Tower exploded. Not a single Terran soldier died that night. Fires burned across Varnock and across the galaxy. Council species began to whisper. Earth reached the heart. No one is safe now. The Council called it terrorism, but many others called it truth. Earth was no longer rising. Earth had arrived. The distress call came at night. A cold voice broke through the static. "This is Lab 9 on Council Moon Sereth. Test subject escaped. Multiple dead. Lockdown failed. They're not animals. We were wrong." The message cut out. Then silence, Council. Command tried to reconnect. Nothing. Not one signal from the entire lab. Dozens of scientists. Hundreds of guards. All gone. A ship was sent to investigate. When it arrived, they found the lab sealed. The power flickered on and off. The air was thick with smoke, and the doors were broken from the inside. A security team entered. Slowly. Weapons raised. The hallways were quiet. Blood marked the walls. Scorch marks, too, as if someone had fought hard. Fought to get out. Inside the control room, one screen still worked. It played a video, again and again. A human male strapped to a chair, his eyes burning with hate. The scientist shouted at him in the footage, "You're nothing. We control your kind. You're just a test." The man didn't answer. Not until the very end. He looked straight into the camera, said, "You fear us because you know one truth. You can't break what's already free." Then he snapped his own restraints, and darkness filled the screen. The Council guards inside the lab watched the replay in silence. One whispered, "What did we do?" Another turned away, shaking suddenly a sound. Metal moved, footsteps, then a scream. One guard disappeared into the dark. Then another, and another. Only one made it back to the ship. He said one word before collapsing. Human. The Council shut down all outer labs, burned records, ordered silence. But Earth already knew. The human who escaped? Lab 9, his name was Captain Renlock. He was declared dead years ago. But Earth had been listening, watching, and now they had proof. Proof that the Council had been capturing and torturing humans for years. Even before the war, that changed everything. Earth broadcast the truth across Council space. Screens lit up. Images of Lab 9, the experiments. The lies, the same leaders who spoke of defense and security were seen hurting innocent. Terrans, people across the galaxy were shocked. Some were angry, and some were afraid that Earth might now want revenge. But Earth sent a different message. General Harris appeared on screen.com. Direct. "We did not ask for war. We asked for peace. You feared us, so you struck first. Now we ask again. Not for surrender. Not for revenge. For truth. For justice." His face hardened. "But no, this if you lie again, if you harm one more innocent being, we will come. For you." The message shook the galaxy. Council worlds began to riot. People demanded answers. On 3 planets, statues of the High Chancellor were torn down, and on one Council world, a banner was raised over a government building. It showed the Earth flag, next to the words, "They're not the monsters we were," inside. The council chamber's panic spread. "They've turned our people against us," shouted one member. "No," said another quietly. "We did that ourselves." And in the dark, Project Revenant watched it all. The AI whispered to Earth's leaders. They tried to bury the truth. But now truth is our weapon, because fear was no longer Earth's enemy. It had become Earth's ally. A whisper spread across. The stars, not a scream, not a broadcast, a whisper. Earth fights back. Earth doesn't forget. Maybe Earth fights for us too. In the deep minds of the Council world Zarinth, workers looked up from their drills. They were not Council citizens. They were slaves, servants, labor from weak species forced to work under the Council's rule. One of them, thin four-armed creature named Leroux, found an old data chip hidden under metal crates. It was forbidden. He plugged it into his small private terminal. A human face appeared. General Harris. His voice was calm, powerful. "We were not born free. We made ourselves free. We will never be slaves again. If you suffer under the Council, know this Earth sees you. The Earth is not done fighting." Leroux froze. Around him, the others listened, and then they passed the chip. One by one, across. Other worlds, similar chips began to appear. In refugee camps, in prisons, on ships run by frightened crews who once feared Earth and now feared the Council more. Earth was reaching out, but not with ships, not with bombs, with hope. And the forgotten races started to listen. On the cold moon of Threx, a small group of silent traitors, once forced to serve the Council's armies, met in secret. Their leader, a silent, blind female named Syra, stood. Before them, "Earth bleeds," she said. "But it fights for justice. It is more than the Council ever did." A voice from the back asked, "Will they welcome us?" "Even after all the pain?" Syra answered. "I don't know. But I would rather die beside humans than live under the Council." And so the alliance began, not from a treaty, but from pain and truth. One by one, the weak joined Earth's cause. They gave information, maps, access codes, secret troop movements, and Earth listened. Back on Earth's moonbase, Revenant, the AI, processed new data. It scanned messages, resistance calls, trade routes. It spoke to General Harris and Admiral Lin. Rebel factions are rising, hidden allies. Within the Council, Lin looked at the screen. "Why now?" Revenant replied. "Because Earth does not rule. Earth respects." Meanwhile, inside the Council chambers, paranoia spread like fire. They're talking to outsiders. Even the Carol have gone silent. "Some of our soldiers didn't report back last week," the High Chancellor shouted. "Crush the traitors, all of them." But it was too late. On the world of Selva's Prime, a Council base went dark. When a scout ship arrived, they found the Council flag torn down. A new flag waved in the wind. The Earth flag. Beside it, a second one. Purple and black, the colors of the Selvan people. A message played on loop. "Together we rise." The Council's worst fear was now true. Earth wasn't alone, and worse. They were inspiring others. The Council's war room was buried deep under the capital of Varnock, surrounded by steel walls and elite guards. No outsider had ever stepped inside until now. The chamber was full of shouting. Maps blinked on the main screen. Red marks showed Council bases lost. Blue marks Earth and its new allies were spreading fast. "They've taken 6 systems," shouted a commander. "They're working with the Selvans, the Threx, even the Corel. We need more troops." But there were no more troops, only fear. High Chancellor Tezeron slammed his fist. "This ends now. Ready to strike fleets. Glass every human colony." The room fell silent. "Sir," one general said slowly, "we've already lost contact with 3 fleets." Tezeron stared. "What?" Another general added. "They vanished. No distress. Calls, no wreckage." Teran opened his mouth to speak. Then the lights went out. Darkness. Total silence. Then a voice echoed in the chamber. Human.com. Cold. "You forgot something." Small red dots blinked in the shadows. Laser sights. Then a flash. One by one, the generals dropped. Quick, silent, clean. Caesarin tried to run, but someone stepped from the darkness. A human black armor. No insignia. Only one word written on the chest plate. Earth. The human grabbed Saran and pressed a small device to his temple. It projected a live signal. Every council world began to receive it. Every screen. Every military base. The people of the galaxy saw their proud leader kneeling, and then General Harris appeared on the same screen. He looked down at Saran. You started this war with lies and fear. You killed our people, burned our worlds, stepped closer, but you never understood what makes humans dangerous. We don't give up. We don't forget. And when we fight together. Saran screamed, You can't stop us all. Harris's voice was ice. We already did. The screen went dark. Seconds later, explosions shook the ground above. Varnic's defense towers fell. Earth's fleet hovered in the sky victorious. It's fast and silent. Inside the war room, the human strike team placed one last device, a timer. They left without a sound. 10 seconds later, the entire chamber exploded. No more high command. No more orders, only ashes. That night, chaos spread through council space. Without leaders, ships stood still. Officers abandoned posts. Worlds began to declare independence. Even council civilians aliens who once feared Earth began to cheer. Across 12 systems, the same graffiti appeared. They struck first. Earth struck back. In orbit, Earth's fleet didn't stay. They didn't burn cities. They didn't punish civilians. They sent a final signal. We came for justice. Not for power. We came to end monsters, not become them. The message echoed across the stars, and somewhere in the black of space, the last council loyalists fled into the void, afraid, because now they understood the truth. The humans weren't just strong, they were united. And now, they were leading the galaxy toward something new. The galaxy was quiet. No fleets, no orders, no war cries. The council was gone. What remained were broken satellites, empty thrones, and millions of confused voices across hundreds of worlds. And above them all, airships waited on board. The Terran flagship Unity, General Harris, stood before a screen showing dozens of incoming messages. Alien worlds once under council rule now asked Earth the same question. What now? Harris didn't answer right away. He stared out at the stars and remembered the first Terran science ship that was destroyed. The burning hull, the silence. The lie that started it all. Admiral Lin entered the room. It's time, she said. Harris nodded. They walked into the command center together. Revenant, the AI that had guided Earth's defense, peered on a large display. Every council system is watching, Revenant said. All feeds are active. Begin transmission. A moment later, across thousands of worlds, every screen flickered to life. And then Earth spoke. General Harris appeared in front of the galaxy. He didn't wear medals, no symbols of victory, just the black uniform of Earth's Defense Command. His voice was clear and calm. Some of you feared us. Some of you hated us. But we never wanted war. We never asked for it. He paused. But when you killed our people, we did not run. We stood, fought, and now the council is gone. Silence across the galaxy. Then he continued, We are not here to rule. We will not become what they were. We'll help rebuild what they broke. Behind him, a new flag was raised. Not just Earth's, but a new one showing a ring of stars, each representing a freed world. The galaxy is no longer theirs, Harris said. It's yours. All of ours. Together. On Corel Prime, once a slave world, children cheered. On Zeronth, the mines fell silent, and the workers finally stepped into the sunlight. On Selvis Prime, the people raised both their own flag and Earth's, and on Varnock. The fires stopped. The survivors began to rebuild. Not as servants of the Council, but as free people. One voice echoed across the galaxy. Earth didn't come to conquer. It came to change everything. Back on the moon, Revenant watched billions of new connections forming. Old enemies were now allies. New ideas. New trade. Peace real peace was possible, but still in the dark parts of space. Danger waited. Not every Council loyalist was gone. Some hid, some plotted, and Earth knew this. Inside Unity, Admiral Lin looked at Harris. Do you think it's really over? He shook his head. No. But now, they know. He turned to the stars. If anyone strikes us again, they'll know exactly what we are. And he whispered the words the galaxy now feared and respected. We are Earth, and we always hit back.